So instead of cleaning what very much needs to get just reorganized, my workbench, or put back together this monstrosity of a vise that I totally disagree on the color on, I am going to ignore all that, and we are going to look at this recent purchase. This is a 1994 Mazda Navajo. Could also be considered a 1994 Ford Explorer. Pretty much the exact same thing other than the name. I purchased this for a whopping $1,200. Some will argue that I probably paid way too much. And that's probably pretty fair. This particular unit, as you can tell, is completely rust-free. Has zero issues when it comes to body panels. It is in basically perfect condition on every quarter panel, and definitely never got into some kind of front end fender bender where someone custom painted this with spray paint. That never happened. So needless to say, this thing's basically mint. Oh, and the 4x4 doesn't work, and the belt squeaks, and if you give it a little bit of wiggle, the whole thing continues to bounce, which is very custom. So in these old Navajos, let's open this guy up, you would find a Ford 4.0 or 4.0 4-liter V6. This one is at least making, I don't know, 200, 300 more horsepower with this cold air intake, which is brilliant. But there are some nice things. That being, those are all new spark plugs. Wires, spark plugs have been redone. Someone even spent the money to make sure that air conditioner is working. Battery, not really that new. It's about 4 years old. That's all right. As long as it turns over, it doesn't matter. Let's look in the interior. Oh, and that's for speed. Open this perfect door handle. Yep, that's perfect. Relatively clean. Do have a little bit of a love mark here. That's easy to fix, but do have to admit, I really like the knitted look seats. That's sweet. It also has the Shaquille O'Neal air pump shoes. I don't know if you guys remember that from the 90s. Yeah, that's nice. This particular unit has a whopping, oh my god, I'm blinding everything, 114,000 miles. 4x4, like I said, doesn't work. Quick weight reduction capability. Bunch of paperwork I'll have to go through in there. Custom air circulation pockets within the lining here. Yeah, overall, not bad, not bad. So why the hell did I buy this? I don't know. I have no idea. I was looking at Facebook Marketplace and saw this and went, that's neat. And then talked to them and ended up bringing it home. For this thing to be worth any of my time of actually putting money in, the first thing is fixing four-wheel drive. And that's going to be really a deciding factor on this unit. If I can't fix a 4x4, I don't know that I will keep it, and I will just try and get my money back out of it. With that stated, though, if we do get the four-wheel drive working, maybe we should put a plow on it? I don't have anything with a plow. I don't know yet. I don't know. We'll see. So let's show you what it's doing when you try and put it in four-wheel. Maybe I can lessen the brightness. There we go. So your classic, here, we'll close the door. You know, you got to really turn that all the way forward. Oh God, turn that off. And that's very smooth. That's one thing I will say. The transmission, I mean, it's very solid, feels great, engine sounds great, but a little bit of an issue. You hear the clicks, and it says, hey, guess what, I'm in four-wheel drive, but it's really not. So, the smart thing to do would be to diagnose it, go through everything, drain all fluids, and really understand what's going on. I'm going to ignore all of that and take the advice of nobody ever and start throwing parts at it. That's how we're going to fix it today. And there's one part in particular, and we'll go through that here in just a moment. So, a 94, yeah, I've got probably 91 through 94, even 88 all the way through 97, I don't know. I'm making those dates up. But your Ford Ranger, your Ford Explorer, your Mazda Navajo, they all had basically the exact same 4x4 setup. Now there's tons of parts, I would say, for the 4x4. It's not really that difficult, right? But a lot of it is vacuum lines, and then a main component is the motor actuator that actually engages the four-wheel drive or puts that in when you push that button. So the good thing that we have going for us is when I push the button, it makes clicky noises, so I know that there isn't like an electrical issue. The relays are working, things are trying to engage. The most known issue to always look for is this, and if it's not this, I mean, then we're opening up a can of worms. What do you look at next, right? You shouldn't even look at this. You should check your electrical first. Again, like I said, I hear clicks, so I'm assuming that's fine. You should check your vacuums. I don't feel like checking vacuum. So taking my own advice, do not take this advice. I'm going to throw what I consider the most common issue and known issue that I've seen multiple times on the internet, because I'm really just a dummy with a cell phone that is able to do this stuff because of the internet. And we're going to install that today and see if we can get the four-wheel drive working. If we can't, well, then maybe we'll look at the other stuff. I'll have to really consider life at that moment. So yeah, let me show you where this is going to go. We're going to go down yonder. Now, mold, leave me alone. I'm using the creeper. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, there's the connector. There's the motor. Now it should be a total of, I don't know, 4 bolts or Torx in a bolt. We'll figure it out, and then that fun little plug doohickey there. And then we'll see if it works. If it doesn't, we go back to the drawing board. It's not a big deal. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing I want to do is I want to move this guy. Oh, that's perfect. That way I can see what it all entails here. I have no idea what I'm looking at, so I'll take that apart. Those look I probably have those Torx with a little circle in the middle. That's cool. Something leaking up there. That's neat. Looks like a guard to keep things in. So, all right, we're at 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts. Well, 3 Torx, 3 bolts. I'm willing to bet that those are like a 10 millimeter-ish bolt. So yeah, let me go grab some tools. We'll get this thing apart. Now, before we do anything, we gotta do the most important part. There we go. There you go. And the rest. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking it was the Torx. That was silly of me. It's definitely not. Those all stay. You have 10 millimeter up here, 10 millimeter there, and then a 10 mil on top. And then you got this 10 mil over there. So it is about 4. I'm going to go ahead and remove those probably off camera because I don't have any easy way to record that. So yeah, un momento. If I didn't know better, I would say someone already changed this. That's not good. Well, we're gonna see if it actually works. So let's see, how do I, you're gonna know well before I do. Let's figure this out. Don't hear the buzzing noises that I used to. Well, it could be the ridiculous beep. Not hearing any clunky clunks either though, so I don't know that it's actually engaging. We're gonna have to put it all down and figure it out from there. All right, so no microphone, so it might be a little bit louder than usual. So that didn't work. This unit, this is the original, this guy right here, this does work. So what I've been doing is I found a way to turn the key with a 5/16 instead of like a 6, it's a 12, right? So I was able to get it so that it connects. And what I have learned, if I turn it to get it to engage to high-low, it does engage. Things sound okay. That might not be fully engaged. And then you should be able to, so this should be then all the way to 4-low, which I can't. I can see it moving, but I can't move it. So what we're going to do is we're going to realign it back to 2 high, and then put this back on and just see if there was a binding or something, and go from there. Or it's vacuum lines, and that's a whole nother thing, but we'll figure it out. All right, so I put it all back together right here. So that's back. We are in 2-wheel drive. So this is the drive shaft. This is your back drive shaft. I'm spinning. The back one's not spinning, right? So that's what you would want to happen to be in 2-wheel drive. So we know that it's in 2-wheel. Theoretically, now, not all 4-wheel drive engages right away. Sometimes I remember with my old 2004 Jeep, which I miss dearly, that one you'd have to wiggle a little bit, and it would get in, and it was fine. It was good enough for me. So theoretically though, if I can spin that, I'm in 2-wheel drive. If I go and engage it into 4-wheel, I shouldn't necessarily be able to spin that without this wanting to move, which that's not going to move because the car is going to be on. And it's gonna be in park. So that's what we're gonna try to do right now, and we'll do it live. So, and if that's the case, that would mean whoever installed the new one, or that's the original, which I just highly doubt, They didn't, it was too far over, so it thought it was engaging, but really it was just still engaged in the two-wheel, but we'll find out shortly. So get ready for a lot of beeping, but we're gonna turn it on. We're gonna put it in four-wheel, lights engaged. I'm gonna turn it off because I don't want to be under a vehicle that's turned on. Not that that's terrible. So now we're gonna go back to this drive shaft, and I shouldn't be able to move it freely. Yeah. See now how that wiggles? That means it's in four-wheel. So does that mean if I turn it back on and push that button, it should, in theory, go back to two-wheel? So let's find out. All right, so that would mean that the drive shaft should now turn freely. And drive shaft turns freely. See? No, I'm turning back and forth, no issue. All right, so let's go test drive that. See if that fixed it. All right, so not entirely sure that's in four-wheel. Well, four high can be deceiving. So let's see if I'm in neutral. I should hear engagement if I hit this. Oh yeah, I heard that clunk. So, oh, she's a torque monster. Jesus. Oh yeah. Not gonna go over 15 miles an hour, but oh yeah, I feel it hates hates turning. That's what you want to feel. So it seems like I just fixed the four-wheel drive with no money. That's not bad. I'll take it. And you guys are gonna be like, oh well, you bought, the motor and you didn't need it because you bought a part uselessly because you were just gonna throw it at it. Had I not bought that part, it would have been that part. So I did myself a favor because I can return that part. So sweet. Looks like she lives another day. Now we got to think of all the other stuff we need to do, which is going to be suspension for sure, front and rear. The rear, I mean, this thing is just it feels like a boat, like not a boat in a good way, like an old Lincoln, 80s Lincoln, where it's like, oh, I'm just cruising. No, it feels like you're on the sea when you're driving, and that's just not how it's going to be. So we're going to fix that. What do you think I should do with it? I'm going to ask you guys. Should I find a plow for it? Should I turn this into my plow vehicle? Because I don't, I have trucks, right? But I like those trucks, and I don't want to put wear and tear on them. Where this, 114,000 miles, this might be a good plow truck. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. What should I do? What do you want to see me do next? I'm all about fixing mechanical. Once mechanical's fixed, then, we'll fix stuff like that. The radio, maybe we put in a screen radio from some speakers because, I don't want to play it, but it only works out of one speaker. So, yeah. Sweet. Seems like we got a fun little ride to play with. All right, till next time.